Hello there, and thanks for joining me. I'm Corel Painter Master Aaron Rutten, and in this video I'll be demonstrating how to use the new brushes I created in February 2018. This series of brushes is compatible with all versions of Corel Painter. You can download these brushes at aaronrutten.com. I'll put a link in the video description. There are 4 brushes in this set, and I should clarify that they're not technically brushes, they are image hose nozzles, and image hose nozzles are essentially stamp brushes. The first one that we'll take a look at is called Smoke Puffs. This is found in the Nature Image Hose Nozzle category. This nozzle suggests that we use the linear size P image hose brush, so I'm going to go ahead and select linear size P. If we paint with this brush, then we can control the size with the pen pressure. You can also try some of the other image hose brushes, and these control how the nozzle sprays out of the brush. So let's try spray size P angle W, and you can see that gives you a more chunky effect like this. And linear size P angle D will follow the direction of your brush stroke, and you can also control the size with pressure. Now you may notice that this smoke puff is gray, and if I go to change my color to blue, it stays gray. Now why is that? That's because this is an image hose nozzle, and it has a predefined color. The reason why I chose a gray is so that we can add color to it later. You can do that in a number of ways. The first and the quickest way is to select your additional color here. Then we need to choose one of these image hose brushes that will let us use colors such as linear size P color, spray size P angle W color, or linear size P angle D color. Let's choose linear size P color. We have our additional color selected here. We can choose a color, let's say white, and then we can paint, and our puff is white. If we select aqua, then we can make aqua puffs. So in order to change the color of this image hose nozzle, you need to have an additional color selected, and you need to have an image hose brush that's using color selected. Otherwise, you're just going to get gray. Now, it's very likely that you're going to switch back to a regular brush that's not an image hose nozzle, and in that case, you need to remember to switch back to your main color by clicking here on the main color, and then you'll be able to choose a color. Most of the brushes in Corel Painter use the main color, so just remember to switch back and forth. I'm going to switch back to the non-color version by selecting linear size P. I'm going to show you another way you can add color. I'll put in a puff here. I'm going to right-click on that layer. I'll select Layer Content, hide the selection with Ctrl-Shift-H. I'll create a new layer. I'll call this Tinting. I'll set the composite method to multiply, and then I can choose a color. I want to make sure I'm selecting my main color here, not my additional color. And I can use something like a glazing brush, such as Messy Dab, to go ahead and glaze over that to add some color to it. You can also go to Edit Fill, and you could fill that layer with any color you want. Let's take a look at another thing you can do with this brush. I'm going to go to Additional Color, and I'm going to select kind of a light blue-gray color like this. I'm going to go back to Linear Size P Color, and I'll get a puff that looks like this. I'm going to locate the Stroke Attributes, which can be found under the Window menu, Brush Control Panels, and then Stroke Attributes. If we turn that on, it'll be enabled for this brush, and then we can control how that paint builds up on itself by selecting the merge mode. By default, this will be set to default, and so the paint will just build up on itself like this. However, if we set that to multiply, and we paint with that same brush, we lift our pen up and we paint again in that same spot, you can see that it gets darker each time I put down a layer of paint. If we set that to screen, we paint a stroke, lift up our pen and paint again, and we get a lighter and lighter result each time we build up our stroke. So for this particular brush, screen works really well to get a nice cloudy effect. You start with kind of a darker shadow color, and then you just go on top of that on the top edge with this lighter brush, and you get an instant cloud without having to change your color. Let's make another one over here. You can see I get these nice layered clouds very easily. You can also build up the opacity of this brush. Right now it's set to 100%. That's maximum opacity, but we could set that lower, let's say to 12, and then we can paint and we can slowly build this up so we get more of a misty, foggy effect with this brush. If you want to reset the brush to its default settings, you can just click on Reset Tool here, and that puts it back to its default setting. So this particular brush could work well for billowing steam. You could have something coming out of a chimney or a smokestack just by tapping like this to create these little puffs. And then just make sure that they get smaller as you go down toward the chimney. As I showed you earlier, it works really well for fog and clouds and things like that. But you might also find that it works well for something like Seafoam. I could have some waves crashing like this, Have some little foamy patterns. And then just build up my color like so to add some highlights and some form to it. And so this brush could also work really well for ocean scenes. The next brush or image hose nozzle that we'll look at is called Thick Evergreen. It's also found in the Nature library. This nozzle suggests that we use linear size P, so we'll select that. And we can control the size of the brush with the pressure on our pen. So if I press lightly, I get something like this. If I press hard, I get something like this. The trick with this brush is to make your brush size the width of the base of your tree. So if I want my tree to be about that wide, I'm going to make my brush that wide. And I want to use a very, very light pressure at the top of the tree and use firmer and firmer pressure as I move toward the bottom of the tree. If I need to, I can make my brush even bigger, and I can continue adding branches all the way down to the bottom here. So you could use this brush to really quickly put in a nice tree line somewhere in the background. Works a little bit better for distant trees than it does for close trees because it's a little softer and a little more faint. You can also use it just to kind of quickly put in some bushes and stuff along the ground. If you want to add color to this brush, you can do that using the additional color here. You have to make sure you select linear size P color. Then we can pick a color, and then we can have evergreen trees like this. And then of course you could build up shadows on them and make them more three-dimensional. If you want the branches to point down instead of up, you can select linear size P angle D. And then you just do a brush stroke that goes from bottom to top using that same light pressure as you get towards the top of the tree. You can also pull inward towards the center of the brush if you want to create bushes like this. I'll use another brush to show you the kind of strokes I'm making. I'm doing strokes that are going like that towards the center. Then you get something like this. You can also add color to this nozzle by right-clicking on it, choosing Select Layer Content, hiding the selection with Ctrl-Shift-H, and then creating a new layer. We'll set that new layer to Multiply. We'll name it Tinting so that we know what it is. Then I can choose a color for my main color, and I can add some tinting. You can apply stroke attributes to any image hose nozzle, so it'll work on this one as well. I'll go ahead and choose Screen. I'll start with a darker green color. I want to make sure I switch that to my additional color here. And I can build up my tree like that to instantly add highlights to it. Or I can set the merge mode of stroke attributes to multiply and select a lighter color. And then I can build it up like this, so I add shadows as I'm painting. There's lots of other merge modes you can play with too to get some really crazy effects. There's Difference, which basically just inverts the color on top of itself. And again, if you want to reset the brush, just click on the Reset Tool button. The next two nozzles that we'll take a look at are found in the Painterly category, and they are Bristle Dabs and Bristle Dab Smeared. Similar brushes, but they give you two different effects. So Bristle Dabs is here on the right, and Bristle Dab Smeared is over here on the left. You can see that the smeared version is a little bit softer, as if the bristles have hit the canvas, and then the paint is a little bit oily and it smears. The non-smeared version over here on the right has edges that are a lot firmer, so it looks like the bristles had some thicker, drier paint on them. So let's take a look at how this brush works. I'm not going to waste too much time showing you how to add color since I showed you that in the previous examples. You can tint over it on a separate layer, or you can use additional color to change the color of the dab itself. So let's go ahead and select regular bristle dabs first. It's suggesting we use linear size P angle D, so we'll do that. We make our brush really big, we get these really big splats that we can build up. If we make our brush smaller, then we get smaller, finer areas like this. And you can, of course, do a combination of both to get a really nice textured background. You could add texture to the ground, to rocks. It works well for a lot of different purposes. We can see how it looks with stroke attributes. We can set it to multiply, put down our stroke here, and then do another stroke on top, and it starts to get darker, and we can instantly add multiple layers of values. We could set the stroke attributes merge mode to screen, and we can build it up lighter and lighter. We can really quickly get this marbled effect. Let's take a look at the other version, which is Bristle Dab Smeared. I'm going to go ahead and choose an additional color here, which is kind of a dark green. And I want to make sure that I've selected the color version of linear size P angle D. I'll go ahead and put in something that looks kind of like a tree here. Make my color a little bit brighter, shift the hue a little bit towards yellow, and put in Some highlights here. So this brush is a bit softer. It might work well for trees and foliage, but you could also use it to put in stone texture as well. It might work better for a beach or something that's a bit softer and sandy. Just like before, if you use light pressure, then you get a finer texture. If you use firmer pressure, then you get a bigger, broader texture. And again, you can play with the stroke attributes if you like. It gives you some pretty interesting results. So there you go. Those are the 4 new brushes that I created for February 2018. You can download these brushes right now at aaronrutten.com. Thanks for watching and enjoy the brushes.